Ymedia Group, the fastest growing media group in North America.
Ymedia foreign policy report, which now I'll try to address the question which everyone wants to know. Where does this war end? Where does this war end? When will it end? On what conditions? I think looking at the current positions, the Iranian president, he is ready to end the war, but Iran is now presenting three particular conditions. Of course, and one of the major ones is they're talking about guarantees. So, of course, there are other conditions as well, but who will provide the guarantee? Will it be India? Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to the Iranian president, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's well in touch with Israel and US as well. So, but will it be India? Will it be China? Will it be Russia? Because a guarantor can only be a country which is acceptable to both Iran, Israel, and of course US as well. So the Western powers, will they agree on a guarantor which is given by Iran? So that's a very important thing. But anyways, Iran is negotiating right now. Iran is saying, okay, fine. As much as we heard their new supreme leader make a statement on their state TV. Actually, we all know he didn't make it directly. But of course, the statement read by the anchor, we had the picture of the new leader. But the new supreme leader clearly said this, they're not backing out. But then the Iranian president is saying, okay, fine, we can negotiate, we can end the war. So this is the position of Iran. Iran is still on the negotiating table, but also warning that yes, we will definitely fight back. What's the position of US? The recent interview with Fox News, US President Trump has said that yes, he can end the war at any time, but of course, when the same question was asked to the US Secretary of War, which we usually refer as the Defense Minister, Pete Hegseth clearly said this, the timeline, it all depends upon US President Donald Trump. Of course, we all knew that. Now, US President Donald Trump, he says he can end the war anytime. Iran is negotiating, but I think the buck will stop with Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, now what are they saying? They're clearly saying that yes, there are many things that still have to be accomplished. Israel is giving no timeline. Israel says until our objectives are met, we are prepared to carry on this war. So this is the position of Israel. So more than anybody else would, I mean, Pakistan could say something, India could say something, Britain, Canada. I think these are the three people who matter the most in this war. So if you want to know, will this war end anytime soon? I would say, as much as Iran wants to negotiate, as much as US President Donald Trump said that, and yes, that's right, he can end the war anytime, but I think, as I already mentioned, I don't think so the war will end anytime soon because Israel is reluctant right now. They're not ready to get on the negotiating table. Of course, they're on the table, but they are saying we're prepared to extend this war as long as their objectives are not met. Now, do we have any clear objectives? I don't know. What is the clear objective of Israel? If US, their clear objective is, okay, fine, you want to have a regime change cannot happen only through an air force. Venezuela was different. They had their people already on the ground. Their people facilitated a regime change transition. But here, I don't think so. There's anybody inside who's working with US or Israel to help them with the regime change. Especially now with the new supreme leader. I don't think so that yes, there is anybody inside helping this Western power. So that will be a challenge for US and Israel. US only has two options now, the most difficult options. Both the options are very difficult. One, either US could start accepting that yes, okay, fine, we were not able to bring in a regime change, or even the democracy that they're talking about, we are going to bring in democracy in Iran. And then they were hoping that yes, regime change, or if there is any sort of democracy can take its roots in Iran, they would be able to have some of their favorable leaders, whether through the elections, supporting them, whatever they would be hoping. That doesn't happen anytime soon. So US is left with only two choices. Both of them are very difficult. One is to carry on with this war, which is becoming expensive by the minute, every single minute that this war is carrying on. Of course, it's going to cost a lot of money to Israel, but it's costing a lot of money to US as well. And US is facing a lot of challenges right now because the missiles and the drones, whether they're the ballistic missiles or any other missiles or the drones that Iran is using, their system hasn't collapsed.
Ymedia Group, the fastest growing media group in North America.